Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shirley. Today I wanted to review some products that we use on a daily basis. So since my last video, Abby has turned 1, so hooray for Abby and hooray for us. We survived the first year, right? So we were trying to put some stuff away, and I thought I should just review some of the things that we use on a daily basis when it comes to feeding Abby and bottle feeding and using formula and things like that. So to give you a little background, Abby, when she was born with jaundice, and she had a fever because I had a fever during delivery, and then after delivery I had some complications as well. So those complications kind of caused my body to just not produce breast milk. And because Abby had jaundice and just other stuff going on, the doctor basically told us that we had to start giving her formula while we were in the hospital, and then she said that I should just continue to keep trying to breastfeed her. So I was pretty bummed out that I couldn't breastfeed Abby, because that was my plan the whole time, was that we were going to breastfeed her. So when we were told that we had to start her on formula, I wasn't opposed to it because I knew Abby needed it. So that was when, a couple hours after she was born, she started formula. And she's been on formula up until a couple weeks ago when we transitioned her to vitamin D milk. And we went home after the hospital and we started trying to give her formula ourselves. We kind of had some complications. So she would have the worst spit ups and stomach pain, and she would cry. So there was a lot of stuff that I didn't know about when it came to formula, because I had never looked it up when I was pregnant, because the whole plan the whole time was to breastfeed her. I did a lot of research, and then I came across the Baby Breeza, and the price was kind of shocking. It's $180, and I did more research, and a lot of people swore by it, and then there were some people that just said, it just didn't work on them. So I waited a month before we purchased the Baby Breeza, because it is a hefty investment. I call it an investment, and it is a lot of money to spend on baby equipment. So we purchased it through Amazon, and since then my life has changed since we purchased the Baby Breeza. Basically, the Baby Breeza has this little water reservoir here that heats the water to about perfect, and then you put your formula here, and then it kind of like mixes the formula and the water together out of the little funnel and into your bottle, and then in seconds you will have yourself a perfectly made bottle. So we love this, and I would suggest any parent out there that is formula feeding their kid to look into this. I know it's a huge investment, and this really saved us time, and it really helped Abby just kind of get a more consistent feeding mixture, like with the water and the formula, so that her body would be able to digest it and not spit up so much. So after we bought this, and then we used the Similac Sensitive formula and the Gripe water, we had 0 spit ups up until we switched her to just normal Similac. I'll talk about the pros and the cons with this. So the pros with this is that it makes the bottles in seconds, and it's perfectly mixed, and it's just so easy. I mean, in the middle of the night when you're stumbling, it's 2 in the morning, you've had like an hour of sleep, just push a little button, you push the start button, and just to kind of go over here. So it has a couple of buttons here. So the ounces are in 2, 4, 6, 8, or 10 increments. There isn't anything in between. And then it has a little start, the stop, and then the temperature button right here will tell you when it's all green. It's all lit up green. It tells you when it's ready to be used. So when you put your cold water in here, it'll heat it up. It does take a while to heat up, but it will tell you when it's ready to go. So the pros with this is that it just does everything in seconds. You push the start button, how many ounces you want, and you're good to go. The cons, and with all the other reviews on Amazon, you do have to clean this, and if you do not clean this, it will not work for you. So we every day after every feeding, you take this little funnel thing out, and this is where all the mixture comes out of. You have to clean this, because if not, the formula and water kind of make like a gunky little thing here, and then you'll have issues with the formula actually getting into the bottle, and then that's when you'll have more water than formula, and you might get some spit ups there. Every couple of weeks, I would say, my husband would just take this whole thing apart and just wash the whole thing. So all this comes off, and then inside, and I'm not going to do a how-to and all that, because I'm sure there's videos out there, but it has all these different little things that you have to clean. So you do have to take your time to clean this, but if you clean it and you just keep up the cleaning for this little thing here, it's gonna save you guys so much time, and your baby will be happier, and you will be happier too, because you assemble everything, and you have to look at the formula. There's a guide to what formula you have and what dial to set it at, and that's when it knows how many scoops to pour into the bottle. Sometimes that stuff changes. So when we bought it, it said for the Similac Advanced, the formula we switched Abby to, the very last one, it said it was like at a 7 or something like that. I can't remember. But then when we did that, Abby started spitting up because there was just too much water in her formula. So then we went online and we looked at their chart, and the dial was, I think, a 6 or something like that. So, and it doesn't work with every formula. So I know it worked with the Similac, the Sensitive, and the Advanced, but I know that some of them don't work with that. So definitely go online and make sure that the formula that you're using is compatible with that machine. Okay, and then the other thing that we bought were these Dr.Brown bottles. So these are supposed to be good for like gassy, fussy babies. So what it does, it has like this little funnel piece. Mine's all wet because I just washed it, but there's several pieces that come with the bottle, and the most important one is this piece that goes inside of the bottle. So when you make your formula, with the Brezza or however, and then you drop this in, and then you're ready to close it up. This little funnel inside right there helps kind of get rid of the bubbles, and Abby just really she did really well with these. So by these, we have the little ones, we have the big ones. She's been using these for, she's been using them for almost a year. I think we switched the bottles before we switched the formula and the Gripe water. So it definitely works. So if you have a gassy, fussy baby, get yourself some Dr.Brown bottles to see if maybe that'll help. The only drawback is that there are so many pieces to wash, but they're so worth it. It's worth washing the additional 2 pieces aside from the nipple in the bottle. So with the bottle, you also want to look into getting the steamer. I know it's a lot of equipment and it's expensive. When we registered for things, we didn't get a steamer. We didn't register the Baby Breeza or the bottles, but I would definitely recommend putting these on your registry. If you don't use it, you can return them, get something else. But just the hefty price tags on these is definitely worth putting it on the registry. I believe this is $80. We got ours on at Babies R Us. And the reason why you want to get a steamer is because even if you're breastfeeding, look into getting a steamer, or because a lot of this stuff, a lot of the Baby Breeza and the steamer, it just saves time. I know it's an investment, I know it's a lot of money, but it saves you so much time, especially if you're working. Like for me, I was when we lived back in California before we made the move, I was working full time, so we needed things that were just going to save us some time with everything, so we could spend more time with Abby and not have to worry about steaming our bottles on the stove with a pot. And you do want to steam your bottles. You want to sanitize your bottles. So that's another thing to look at when you're breastfeeding or formula feeding. You always want to sanitize your bottles. They say to do it every couple of days. But for us, because when Abby was so fussy, we bought the steamer and we said we're just gonna steam every day. So when we finish washing the bottles for the day, we put the bottles in the little steamer. It has a little, so underneath this, you put your water in here, and it has a measuring cup. It tells you how much. You put this down, and see how it has little holes and everything for the bottle. So you put your bottle in the big holes, and then you put the little pieces, the little funnel on here. You put that in there, and then it closes up, and then you put all the other things in here, all the plastic pieces, the nipples, everything else up here. You close it up, and then when you're ready to use it, you just push the start button, and you're good to go. So I would suggest you guys, if you can, get yourself this and get yourself the Baby Breeza, the Dr. Brown bottles if you have a fussy baby, and then also look into maybe using the Similac Sensitive and Gripe water. So hopefully my review helps you guys out there looking for things to kind of help your baby. And you know, I've used these things every day for almost a year, and I swear by them. So hopefully my review just helps you guys, and I'll stop with the rambling. Thank you all so much for watching. I know I've been a little absent since my last video. I had a couple things happen, but I'm hoping that I can at least have a video out every week from now on. So thank you guys so much for watching my video. Hit the subscribe button if you like what you're seeing. Comment down below if there's any other tips and tricks that you guys use too for fussy babies that have gas or anything like that. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!